The triality was a dual spiral of flashing colors, darkness and light being the spirals, and the future being their fleeing center. It is a center that is foggy, that blurs as you fall down and surf the spirals, leaping between each spiral, chasing the end that is never reached. I am often hesitant to write of this, because I forget that this is my realm, but then I remember that, so long as I am with my comrades, and those who I am with that are even closer than comrades, I am in my own realm, then. The devils once possessing me with a deathly grip, holding fastly to me and choking me with awkwardness, are still there, but they are crystallized in bittersweet memories of soft moving faces and still lips. The all-seeing eye is there, there, there. At the center of my mind, when I close my eyes, he is there, watching, and still there when they are open. In those pure moments when the sun turns the grass into colossal towers of shade, all of it has led me to believe that what has been said is true. Hell is empty and all the devils here. They play in the damp heat of the summer and pluck the wrong strings, sending one into a heavy and tolling hysteria. But the shade is relief, a melody to cure melodies, and when those hollow notes play, I feel myself growing high voices within, and the trees surround me as I sit among them, while the distant mountainscapes made of foggy blue echo the tunes. The music feels as if it grabs one's body, sending goosebumps all over, and the butterflies block the edges of my stomach and tempt me to the edges of the cliff where I stand. In times like these it is most timely that we crave the intimacy and warmth of another. I'm the lonely one, waiting, waiting, waiting. When winter comes, I'm still wrapped in a blanket with cold legs and chocolate milk, waiting, and the demons are playing in the snow, plucking the wrong chords. The demons are always here, but hell is empty. This night I went out and smelled the cold night's air, and it was free of humans, and all I could see was the shadows of the street lights, and the lights between them, among little else. In the night, every light is pungent with feeling, and one can feel how freely the air flows around the lights through thin mists of dust. There was one lamp right behind a great big tree, which shook in the thin night breeze, and the shadow cast of the tree ballooned these swaying petals into quaking reflections of saws and blades. And while I walked this shadow, I felt at home between the peace of the illuminated tree and its chaotic doppelganger. Though I fatigued, I pushed on, and I walked by the house of a friend who had long ago went away, and it nearly brought me to tears to see this vessel of memories, the least vapid, so empty and alone in the dark. I pushed onwards up a hill and looked directly up and saw the vastness of the sky and its enigmatic nature. No matter how many books one reads, one will never figure out the stars. It was upon only a few seconds passing that I then noticed a plane passing by, and I then wished so badly to be that plane and to fly off into space and forever drift among the stars in empty space and eternally ponder the beauty of this night. I walked right on up to the top of the hill, after seeing the flashing lights of the plane become nothing but a speck on the horizon, as our Earth too becomes a speck to the nearby otherworldly bodies. At the top of the hill I saw pure unfiltered beauty as I sat underneath the streetlight. Down below me I saw the lights of the city and the shimmering waters of the Puget Sound. All other land was rife with darkness, save the houses and streets around me, and a few twinkling lights up on the distant islands. The edges of the horizon of the sky were bright purple as they met with the rolling black forest, mountain silhouettes. In the distance was the moon on the horizon, a moon of the richest orange seas, a moon so orange it looked like a mandarin, and I wanted to take a bite out of the tangy mandarin moon, which was then beginning to duck behind the horizon. And at the center of it all was the jet black sky and its twinkling stars, its inexplicable stars. On the lonely rolling hills were the flashing red lights of distant radio stations and their wireframe skeletons. Among all these views I felt small and wept. I returned home as the mandarin moon ducked behind the distant islands, but I took this smallness, this beauty, as more strangeness in life, as more absurdity, as more freedom, despite being one among pinching pulls and pushes, and once more, once again, I do not care if I die any more in these moments of still and empty and dark beauty of strangeness, and certainly not if it is in these beautiful moments of lonely nights. At the Dove's Mouth I saw a familiar man who looked like the great warrior Orion. He showed me to the house of the disquiet souls, where he threw me in a room. There were spiders, so many spiders, with fangs the size of daggers, and sharper than the sun's edge. I crushed them with my fists there in the dark room. Soon there was but one spider. I stabbed it with my steely knife, but I just can't kill the beast. The spider laughed and looked to my eye, like the lady in the manor window, and spoke thus: "Still you are the camel, still you carry these heavy things, and still you are not the lion. Still you are not the child, no, certainly not the child. Flee now, for I see that you are wobbling on your tightrope." I tried to escape the room, but I tripped on the spiders and the door wouldn't budge. I pounded on the door. I wept and begged that the great warrior Orion would save me. But he had already saved all those mortal men, and had gone. There I fell, surpassed by that Superman, and I fell right into my grave, where the Egyptians laid my bones to rest, under a pyramid of my frozen tears. For oh, how I wept when I fell. My heart had become so cold that it froze my tears. Still I am the camel, carrying these heavy things, now not just across the desert, but also through the mountains, and above that stormy sky. And now my wish has been fulfilled, though now I regret it. I am the plane now, and now I drift among the stars, and I am lonely. I wished now to be with that spider again, or to see the warrior, the Superman Orion. For now I was met with the destiny of the animal. Not even a man was I, but now I am the plane among the stars, endlessly pulling these heavy burdens, and the world or its shadow remembered me only as Sisyphus's camel.